Welcome to our Virtual Law Legal Analysis series. In today's episode, we will discuss the meaning, application and sample case of Doctrine of Election of Remedies. Let's dive right into it. The doctrine of election of remedies is a legal principle that prevents a party from pursuing two inconsistent remedies for the same wrong in the Philippines. The purpose of the doctrine is to prevent double recovery and to ensure that the parties to a dispute are not subjected to unnecessary litigation. Application. The doctrine of election of remedies applies when there are two or more remedies available to a party for the same wrong, and the remedies are inconsistent. Inconsistent remedies are those that cannot be pursued simultaneously or that would result in the party receiving double recovery. For example, a party cannot sue for both breach of contract and tortious interference with contract, because both remedies seek to compensate the party for the same loss. The doctrine of election of remedies is applied by the Philippine courts on a case-by-case basis. There are a number of factors that the courts will consider when determining whether the doctrine applies, including the nature of the remedies available, the timing of the party's actions, and the party's intent. Sample case. One example of the doctrine of election of remedies in action in the Philippines is the case of Philippine Trust Company v. Roxas. In that case, the plaintiff sued the defendant for breach of contract and for legal compensation. The defendant argued that the plaintiff could not pursue both remedies, because they were inconsistent. The court agreed, and held that the plaintiff had to elect between the two remedies. The doctrine of election of remedies can have a significant impact on the outcome of a case. If a party fails to elect between inconsistent remedies, they may be barred from pursuing one of the remedies altogether. Therefore, it is important for parties to be aware of the doctrine and to carefully consider their options before pursuing a claim. Here are some additional points about the doctrine of election of remedies in the Philippines. The doctrine only applies to inconsistent remedies. If the remedies are not inconsistent, then the party can pursue both of them. The doctrine does not apply if the party has not yet pursued any of the remedies. In that case, the party is free to choose which remedy to pursue. The doctrine can be waived by the parties. If the parties agree that the doctrine will not apply, then the party can pursue both remedies. The doctrine of election of remedies is a complex legal principle, and there are a number of exceptions to the rule. If you are considering pursuing a claim, it is important to speak to an attorney to discuss whether the doctrine of election of remedies applies to your case. That's all for this episode. Stay tuned for more legal insights in our future episode. Remember, understanding the law helps us comprehend the intricacies of our legal system. See you next time. Like and subscribe.